Yahoo! Happy Friday. As with the past 2 weeks, I'm being consistent for once in my life. I am making a video talking about something Japanese. Typically on Fridays, I'm either going to talk in Japanese, probably about like manga stuff, or I will talk about Japanese, typically like studying Japanese, usually using manga. And because this upcoming Sunday is the JLPT test, good luck to everybody who's taking it, I wanted to talk about studying Japanese. And so in this video, I'm going to introduce, I've talked about these before, but I'm going to talk about them more in depth in this video. These two books that were like a saving grace to me when I was transitioning from like upper beginner to early intermediate Japanese language learner. These books are called 本当に怖い話. They are part of a series. You might notice I lost the cover for both. These are probably the oldest books in my collection. I bought them off of Facebook Marketplace like 8 years ago. These are old. They have been well loved, and I still use them quite often. You can see they're tagged to hell. I really like these books. And I'm going to talk a little bit about the why. When it comes to studying just about anything, I often say, personally, I believe the most important aspect is interest. So the more interested you are in a certain topic, the more likely you are to retain whatever you read about that topic. I feel like that makes sense. And so personally for me, I love a good scary story. I love anything supernatural or fantasy related. And these books are just that. They are collections of short stories. Some of them are very short, some of them are like 3 to 4 pages, but I don't think there's anything like longer than 5 pages. A bunch of very, very short stories. Each tab has its own story. It's very short. All about supernatural things. Some of them are positioned as like, here's a picture of a ghost and like a little article about the ghost. Some of them are just text dialogue about, here's this scary story that actually happened to me. It was terrifying. I'm warning you. Some of them are like short manga where it's just a story. And then some of them are longer text stories that are, again, just stories not pretending to be real. And I love all of them. And there's always I like a good anthology series because it keeps you interested. And it's not just stories, one book more than the other, but both books still will kind of add in little games and quizzes and stuff. I will introduce those as well because I think they're really fun. But both books are very entertaining. And at least for me, I was able to read and reread them so many times because I was so interested in the material that it provided. Now, not both books, no two books are the same. So no two books are the same level. Some will always be at least like a little bit more difficult than others. So you got to take everything with like a little grain of salt. But in general, I say these books are fantastic for people who are like have been studying for a while. You need to be able to read hiragana and katakana like perfectly. There is kanji, but everything has furigana, meaning the reading in hiragana over top of the kanji. So you'll be fine. And the language is typically very friendly. So for these, the purple one is the more difficult one, in my opinion. But I like the purple one more because it has more variation. As you can maybe see by the color of my tabs, more variation. So in the purple one, we have real articles where it will talk about, like, they look like newspaper articles kind of, where it talks about like do you see this picture? There's a ghost right there. And then like a little blurb about it. There's 10 of those. There are 29 short stories. So 1 page only, text only short stories, which I think is the perfect length for beginners because, again, only 1 page, no pictures to help you out, but it's not so long that you'll get confused. There are 7 like manga comic strips that are longer because they're manga. And again, they're easier to follow, less dialogue, friendly vocabulary, easier to follow along. There are 32 2 to like 4 page text, usually text only, but sometimes accompanied by a picture or two, long stories, which I think is a good challenge. And it breaks up between the easier short stories and manga. There are 2 quizzes, which I love so much. I found that to be so much fun, and I will show a little sample. And there's one like game, which again, so much fun. I really liked it. It's kind of like a choose your own adventure game. It's really fun. Again, it makes you really want to be able to read it because it's fun. And then there are like I think about 20 very short blurbs that are all counted as their own like story, but they're each just a paragraph long. So it's very friendly. Looking at one of the like quizzes, we have this one, which I think is the easier of the two because it's just like check off which ones you agree with. It's called あなたのオーラは何色? Or what color is your aura? And then you answer the questions. So like you check off the boxes that you agree with, and then the letter that you most correspond with tells you your color. And then that color will tell you the type. So there are like there's the leader type or like the leader type. There's the iyashike type or like the calming type. So there's 6 total. And I just think it's fun. I like it. For the very short blurbs, I will read an example of just one, but this does go on for pages. And again, it's very friendly because some of them are only a sentence. A lot of them are only a sentence. テレビの砂嵐をずっと見ていると、霊の顔が浮かび上がる. Or like, if you look at the black and white pepper screen of a TV for long enough, or like if you continuously look at it, the face of a ghost comes up. So it's just like a legend, and I think it's fun. And there's a whole bunch of them. This book, at least the purple one, also tells you, again, like it's hard to know how true it is because like maybe some of it is like based on urban legends and whatnot, but it tells you like the most haunted parts of Japan, and it has like a little map of Japan. I think it's really cute. So like 心霊スポットランキング or ranking the 心霊スポット or like the spots where ghosts are. And it lists number 1 as in Tokyo. I'm just looking for if Kyoto's on here. I used to live in Kyoto. There's a lot of Tokyo. It's mainly all in Tokyo and Yamaguchi. I wonder why. But there's no Kyoto on here. That's funny. So I was looking for Kyoto. I was staring at the words for Kyoto, but I was reading it backwards. So for the Shinri Spot ranking, number 1 is not Tokyo, but Kyoto. I'm so silly. It's Mizoro ga Ike or Mizoro ga Lake. I don't know that lake. I was excited when I was relooking at it. And it says, この池は底なし沼と言われ、入ると二度と出られません. Or, this lake is bottomless, like covered in like mud. So when you enter, you can never escape. 昔、近くにある病院に入院していた女の人が、ここで自ら命を絶ったそうです。これ以来、この周辺では女の人の霊を見た、声をかけられたという噂が絶えません。There is sometimes hiragana in place of kanji, or like just hiragana where there normally would be kanji because this is for younger readers, and that throws me off of my reading groove. But so that's really interesting. It says basically the lake was near a hospital, a woman entered the lake, never came back out, and now there is the ghost of a woman in the lake, basically. I wonder where that is in Kyoto. I never heard of it. But yeah, yay, Kyoto made the ranking. But yeah, so it does give you more than just short stories. It breaks them up pretty well with just like interesting articles. And like, it doesn't matter if they're like real or not because they're interesting, and that's what matters. So that's the purple one. This one is much more varied. And again, I'm so sorry. I don't know, like, I call it the purple one because I lost the sheet years ago. So I'm so sorry. I don't know the exact one it is. I'll try and find it, but I don't know which one it is. So yeah, purple one's more difficult with more variation. Well, the pink one, on the other hand, you can see there's a lot less tabs, a lot less colors. This one is broken down by me. I break it down as this one has mostly just manga. So again, much less variation, much easier. The manga stories are much longer compared to the purple book. There are 17 manga stories in this one. There are 6 real news articles where again it'll like show pictures and be like, do you see this? Behind this waterfall, there's a ghost face. Ooh. And like it'll explain it in Japanese. I think they're fun. There are only 3 over 1 page long text only stories. And there are only 4 just 1 page long or less than 1 page long short stories. So this is overwhelmingly manga, which again, easier to understand. And all of the stories are pretty, like, this is definitely tailored for girls. This is definitely a shoujo series. But I know people like will think, okay, shoujo means romance. There really isn't a lot of romance in here. There is a lot of like, you get your just desserts, a lot of comeuppance. Like there's like a lot of it's just like kind of sad. Where like, I don't want to spoil any of them, but we'll have one of a girl who goes to a movie theater and she wants to see one movie, but it's sold out, so she sees a slasher movie. And somehow she's the only person in the theater. And then the movie starts. It's really spooky. There's like 3D sound effect, or like there's 3D 40 effects where like the movie comes to life. And then all of a sudden, the like main villain of the movie comes out of the screen and attacks her. Stuff like that, where it's like there's no romance. It's pure horror. But again, some of them are more like shoujo coded, I guess, where it's like a girl wants to be like in the good books of her crush no matter what, so she will like betray her friends and then like karma gets back to her. Stuff like that. So like it is very much varied. Not all of the stories are like mean spirited. Some of them are like actually kind of sad, where we have a like a ghost who lived in the hospital their whole life and like they develop a crush on somebody and then they kind of like mutually confess and then that lets their spirit like go. It was really sad. But so there is a lot of good variation. And I really like these books. I'm going to try and find the exact, like, which exact books they are because I would like to recommend them. But I do recommend the series as a whole. The series is still ongoing as far as I know, and you can get them physically or digitally. And I highly recommend them if you like spooky stuff and you are studying Japanese.